So we've talked a lot about inhalers, but let's actually go a little more in depth. Talk about what an inhaler is and how it works and other types of devices people use for asthma. So, the first one is called a metered dose inhaler. This is your standard type of L-shaped inhaler. And this is the most common type you're going to see. This one, with every puff you're going to press down on it, and it's going to give you a puff of medicine. And they're called metered dose because they give an exact amount of medication with every puff. Other types, there are dry powder inhalers, where you have to basically crank a little lever, and it crushes up a pill, and then you inhale that. You suck on it with a lot of force, and that medication is going to go down to your lungs. With the metered dose, you inhale the puff. You have to shake it first, but you inhale it, and that's going to go into your lungs as well. This is called a nebulizer. More severe than than most people's. And often what happens is they're going to have to sit down for a long period of time, and they either have a mask or they have a device that goes in their mouth. And what they do is they have to breathe in medication over a constant period of time. And it does help them. It does really help control their asthma. But this one's for, like I said, more severe cases. And it doesn't mean that they can't do things that they like. You can put a mask on with your nebulizer, and, talk with friends on the computer, read a book, draw, do all that. It's just, you have to set a little more time out to help enjoy your asthma. So when it comes to actually using inhalers, since they are the most popular form of asthma medication, we're going to talk about how to use them. So how do we actually use it? The first thing is to remove the cap and hold it upright. And we mentioned you have to shake them. So after that, you want to shake the inhaler. You want to make sure everything's mixed up inside it. After you do that, you're going to lift up your head and tilt it back and breathe out. You want to make sure that all the air is out of your lungs. Take your inhaler, hold it upright to your mouth, and then you're going to press down on the inhaler and release the medicine as you breathe slowly. You're going to breathe slowly for about 3 to 5 seconds. So you're in for 3 to 5 seconds. And after you breathe slowly, you're going to hold your breath for about 10 seconds. And this allows the medicine to go really deep into your lungs, to get all of those bronchi that might be inflamed and swollen, and be able to actually work and allow that medication to open up your lungs and allow you to breathe again. So let's just try that. Let's pretend that we have an inhaler. So I want everyone to tilt their head up just slightly. Pretend they have an inhaler. Shake it. Breathe in. Hold it. Breathe out. And sometimes people with asthma, they might have to repeat puffs. If they do, they have to wait about a minute. That way the medication that just got into their lungs has a chance to work and has a chance to open up their lungs. So Flora's going to talk with you a little bit about safe medication disposal. Get out of the way.
Hello. As Micah said earlier, my name is Flora, and I'll be talking about proper methods of disposing of your medications. So before I start, quick question for you guys. How many of you currently take medications at home for any, for pain, whichever disease you have? Okay, so I see quite a few hands. All right, so how do you currently dispose of your medications? everybody has different methods of disposing of your medications, right? So before we talk about this, let's see the importance of properly disposing your medications. First of all, we know that medications are important to treat certain conditions. And so many of us will not be alive today if not for medications. They're actually important. But then, there's one other thing we have to take note of. When they are not properly disposed, they become harmful. So, what are two potential harms we can get from not properly disposing medications? Let me see, it can be a potential harm to others and even us, like your sisters, your friends, anybody who has access to wherever you dispose of your medication. And also, it can be very harmful to our environment, to our dogs, to our plants, everything in our water systems, if it's not properly disposed. Now we'll talk about some do's and don'ts. Whenever you think it is the right thing to do, you just say yes, and when you think it's the wrong thing to do, you say no. So do you think pouring out medications into the trash is a safe disposal method? Okay, so I can see a few of you are saying no, and that is correct. Throwing pills away in the trash without putting them in a sealed container is dangerous. We don't want our pets, our animals, or brothers and sisters getting into our trash and eating up our pills. It's possible. Don't give me that look. And do you think flushing on water pills, liquid, and patches down the toilet is a safe disposal method? And why do you think it's not a safe disposal method? There are so many reasons for that, right? When medications are flushed down the toilet, it can infect our water system. And what do we have living in our water system? We don't want to harm the fish, and so don't flush your medications. All right, now those are the things we should not do. What is the right thing to do? How can we do we're going to find out we have two main ways of disposing of our medications. And the first will be medication take-back programs. These like situations where you take the pills you're no longer using, because sometimes you're prescribed same medication for pain. At a certain point, you don't feel this pain anymore. What do you do with the medications that are there? You need to dispose of them, right? So what days like the DA National Prescription Take Back Day, where you can just go and give back all the medications you're no longer using, or you can go to any local police station. Some examples are listed on the board, like the Nitro Police Department, St. Albans Police Department, Dunbar Police Department, South Charleston Police Department, Marmet Police Department, and Kanawha County Sheriff's Office. This will be a very safe and almost like the best way to dispose of your medication. But like we all know, not everybody has a means of transportation. Not everybody can make it to these police stations. So what if you cannot do this? What other way can you dispose of your medications? You can dispose it at home, but properly dispose it at home. And how can you do that? First of all, you mix your medications with dirt, like coffee, and make sure you don't crush them or, open up your capsules. Just mix them as they are, and then you place the mixture in a container such as a sealed plastic bag or a large jar. Then throw the container in the household trash. That way, you don't have, our animals don't have access to it, Our friends don't have access to it. Our sisters will not have access to it. Before they get into it, they have to break the back, right? And I don't think that's something anybody would do. Rather than you just have the pills thrown out there like that, you have to seal it up so that it's hard to get in it. And then for the pill bottles you came with, for privacy reasons, for just to keep your information safe, you should peel out the name tag, make sure you don't have any information on the container anymore, and then you dispose of it in the trash. We talk about how to properly dispose medications with the medication bags. And these bags can only contain 45 pills maximum. So when using these bags, try not to put more than 45 medicines, because then you will not be properly disposing your medications. So how do we use these bags? First of all, you open the pouch and you pour in the medications. Remember, a maximum of 45. You fill the bag half filled with water. Seal the pouch, and you shake the medications, and then now you can throw it in your trash bags. And Micah and I, we've told you a lot today. We said so many things about medications, about asthma, about disposing of your medications. We just want to have a quick recap of everything we've said. So the first, we spoke about the effects of asthma on the body. We can remember any one effect of asthma on your body. That's great. We remember you have breathing problems, right? And that could lead to shortage of oxygen to your brain. Because if your body is not getting enough oxygen, definitely your brain is not getting enough. And that could be really bad for you, since your brain controls all the functions of your body. And we spoke about common triggers of asthma attacks. We can remember any of the triggers. That is correct. Stress, pollen, and all those, right? They can all trigger your asthma attacks. So how to control asthma and recognize signs and symptoms of asthma? We all know about that. Asthma, you have difficulties breathing, and we also learned so many ways on how to control your asthma attacks. So how do you develop an asthma action plan? Like I said, prevention is the best way. Try to prevent and not get it at all. But the moment you have an attack, you should know how to use your sprays, and also get to a physician if you cannot get it under control. And we said a lot about the devices used to deliver asthma medication. We have a few that are all moving around. I don't know if anybody is willing to deliver the medications if they had an attack. That's definitely a great way to use it. So we also spoke about the importance of safe medication disposals and the effect to have on our community and our environment and even our family if we don't properly dispose of these medications. And we spoke about the do's and don'ts of medication disposal. And also locations where you can safely dispose of your medications, and how to use a safe medication disposal system correctly. So that said, I want to thank the University of Charleston School of Pharmacy for letting us come up here in the first place to talk to you guys. It was a great opportunity seeing you and talking to you. Also, we'd like to thank the Kanawha Communities and Kanawha Charleston Health Department. And also thanks to Script Your Future and APHA. So with that said, any questions?